Let's go. Episode 33. Welcome back, or if you're new, I'm Coach Presiam, a football coach whose curiosity extends to the depths of philosophy. Here we discuss everything from sports, football in particular, all the way to these philosophical inquiries. We contemplate the depths of existence and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. So today we're talking about fitness. Right, we're gonna break down the topic. I'm gonna go all the way from the bottom, your bottom of the food chain, all the way to the top. So from never doing anything at all the way to you're a good athlete. What to do, why, and so forth. First, we're gonna start with why. Why is fitness important? I just realized I've spent 32 episodes without really focusing on it at all. I went, I didn't know if I should. Most people are not really interested in this. But I believe it is essential because it is essential. There is no debate there. So let's start with why. Let's just get into it. That's enough of an intro. As I said, I'm gonna go all the way from you're a beginner. I'm gonna walk you through the process. I'm gonna break this down. What is fitness? Why is it important to you? What are the aspects? How to get better? What to work on? What priorities you should have depending on your level. Okay? All this here now. Let's go. So, first of all, we need to understand this fundamental truth, which is your body and your mind are connected. You experience the world through your body, through your senses. Yeah, your senses are part of your body. You exist within your body. Okay, so it is stupid to assume that there is no link between what shape or what state your body is in and your mental state. It is just dumb, straight up. It's dumb. You can't say, that doesn't matter, but up here I'm sharp. You could be sharp, but imagine if you were fit, you would be much sharper. Okay? We need to understand that. This is essential. If you don't agree with this, then just go away. Like you're not gonna learn anything because you've got the wrong attitude. Okay, so we need to understand this. Once we've agreed on this, now we need to start accepting a couple of basic facts. Your physical condition impacts you in terms of health. How long you're gonna live, straight correlation there. What your experience, your life, your experiences, they're going to be impacted by what physical condition you're in as well. I'll give some examples in a second. And also your decision making is going to be impacted. Your moods are going to be influenced by your physical condition. Okay, all of that. So let's go one by one. So your decision making, straight up, decision making is impaired if you're unfit. It is impaired. Why? Because every time you're thinking about something, imagine you're very unfit, or you're weak, or fat, or whatever. I'm allowed to say fat, If you're offended by this, then you're going to be offended by a lot other things are going to offend you a lot more. So it is what it is. We need to be real. We need to be honest and straight. Your decision making is impacted. Why? When you're unfit, you don't make decisions from a place of strength. Every decision, consciously or subconsciously, is influenced by your weak body. Understand this. You don't feel it. Why? Because for you, it's normal. You don't know what you would be, and you cannot imagine what it would be if you're, let's say, twice as strong and you had twice as much endurance, for example. You don't know because you haven't been there. Okay? You only understand how important this is looking backwards. Is the same as being a parent. Okay? 50% of people go, I don't know if I want children. Not a single person looks back and says, I wish I didn't have kids. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with fitness. 50% of people say, I don't really want to be fit. Not a single person looks back and goes, I wish I never got fit. Okay, so you need to keep your mind open to that possibility that you don't understand the possible benefits that you could get out of it. Okay, the difference that it makes if you have not been there before. All right, that's one. Second, longevity, very important. How long you're gonna be alive? Is this not important? There is a straight correlation. Now people are gonna say, well, this guy works out all the time and he had this or that and he passed away very young. There are exceptions, of course, but would you want to optimize your chances of living a long and healthy life or not? Or would you want to minimize them? Would you want to maximize the risk of bad things happening to you? Is this good? Also think about it. Is this not a bit selfish? What about the people around you? You're literally, by your actions, you're about to cause them a lot of pain by not taking care of yourself. Also, you might cause them a lot of money by not taking care of yourself, and then they need to take care of you. By them taking care of you, or they need to kind of change their life a little bit, change their routine or whatever to allow for them to take care of you. So, well, I just see it as it's a bit selfish. That's my opinion, personal opinion. If you're unfit, you're selfish. You don't care about the people around you. Then next, I don't want. Do I need to go into the longevity details? Just gonna give you two. This is roughly, okay? I don't have an exact number, but it's roughly just me remembering from the books that I've read. An increase in your like a 50% increase in strength, or so. No, if you are within the top 25% for your age group and gender in terms of strength, this would have roughly, this would decrease all-cause mortality by 50% for you. Roughly the same with endurance, like VO2 max. If you are within the top 25% of your age and gender in terms of VO2 max, which is your maximal oxygen intake, basically endurance, okay? This is going to decrease all-cause mortality, meaning the chances of you dying from anything by roughly 50%, okay? You don't believe me? Go and read the papers, read the science. I can tell you which book I'm pulling this from. This is Outlive by Peter Attia. I might not be spot on with the exact numbers, but it was something along the lines. If you're strong, very strong for your age group and gender, all the risks drop by half, pretty much. That's not an overstatement. I'm quite accurate with this. I remember it because it's a striking fact. I'm like, what? Really? Okay. That's the only two details that you need to remember. Do I need to say anything more? What more than this? You know? Another thing. Okay, longevity. I'm gonna live for a long time. All right, cool. Another thing. Life satisfaction, quality of life. Think about the quality of your life. The older you get, obviously, like most people that watch this are gonna be young. That's like, I don't care about this anyway. You can skip ahead if you want, but it's important to listen. Maybe you look at your parents and think, and you start seeing things for what they are. Quality of life. Let's say you're young, or if you're not young, if you're a parent, doesn't matter. The more you progress in terms of age, you get older and older. Your strength is gonna decrease. Your stamina is gonna decrease. That's just naturally. Okay? Naturally, this is gonna happen. You're gonna be able to do less and less things. when you're able to do less things, what happens? Are you going to be happier or less happy? Let's be honest. Are you going to be happier to be able to do less than what you used to? Would you be happier if, let's say, for example, you like going out for walks, being out in nature, but now you can no longer do it because you cannot walk? Is that going to contribute towards your happiness, life satisfaction? Let's say you're a grandparent now, okay? Or if let's say if you're young, would you want your parents to be able to spend time with your children? Or imagine if they're not able to look after them because they can't pick the baby up, they can't get it up the stairs, they can't get him out for a walk. That sounds a bit over the top, but it's just the real thing. The weaker you get, you cannot lift heavy things anymore. Is that not important? Imagine me. I love doing sports. Okay? Imagine me being unable to do anything, any physical activity. Would that make me happier? Definitely not going to be happy about that. I want to do sports all the way. Like, while I'm on this planet, on this earth, I'm doing sports. Regardless of what it is, I'm doing sports. If I'm unable to do that, that would crush me. Not crush me. I'll be able to get through it, but I wouldn't want it. Okay? So a couple of things for you to think about. Why it's important. It's quite obvious, but we have to go through it. Okay? Now that we've discussed the why, let's think about, let me give you like a brief, let's set some brief foundations just briefly, after I take a sip. By the way, if you're fat, do not drink Red Bull. If you're young, do not drink Red Bull. Okay? I'm allowed because I'm fit and strong. I'm allowed sugar, Okay. The basics. In fitness, when we think about fitness, just to simplify it, think about endurance and power. You have these two aspects. In power, this is basically anything anaerobic. Anaerobic means without oxygen, which is like explosive movements, okay? You can think strength, sprinting, jumping, I put this under power, okay? Just to simplify it for you. Let's say you don't know anything. Power, endurance, okay? Your stamina, how long can you go for? And then what output? Like, can you have maximal output? Okay. So, as I mentioned, I thought before, endurance is much more important in terms of health and everything, but it turned out that they're kind of equally just as important. If you're very strong, that will still decrease all-cause mortality by a lot, just as much as if you're fit. Okay, ideally you want both. If you're doing sports, you need to try and evaluate what are the requirements of your sport, okay, and then decide what you're gonna do. Okay, strength, it's like sprinting, jumping, lifting heavy things, moving heavy objects, okay. And endurance is walking long distances, jogging as well, like running a marathon. That's endurance, right? Basically doing things over a long period of time. This requires endurance. That's the basic thing. They both improve, okay, by what is called a progressive overload, which is today I'm gonna do X, I'm gonna rest for a day, for example, recover from the damage that I've done to myself by exerting myself physically, because it does a bit of damage. Then your body recovers stronger, if you've given your body the right nutrients, and then you can do a bit more the next time. So let's say I lift weights. Today I'm gonna lift 10 kilos. Me lifting 10 kilos is gonna cause micro tears, okay, to my muscle fibers. This is what happens. Then I'm gonna go home, eat, get some protein in. That protein is my body is gonna use to repair the damage to my muscles, and my muscles are gonna repair themselves stronger now, because my body is adapting to the stress that I've put it through. This is very simply put, okay? I put my body through some stress, and my body now says, "Ooh, I need to adapt. I need to be ready for this next time." Okay? The next time, if I do the same thing, it's going to be easier. Okay? So progressive overload is you do something until it gets easier, your body has adapted, then you need to add something, do more. Okay? So you keep pushing your body to keep adapting, getting stronger and stronger, or building more and more stamina. Same with running, essentially. Okay? Your cardiovascular system becomes more efficient, pretty much, using oxygen. Make sense? So you start here and you start building up little by little. Again, I'm just gonna mention this now without going into much detail, because this is a whole another episode. It is very important to eat protein. If you do not eat protein, kind of forget about everything I'm talking about. Protein is essential. Protein is the building blocks of your muscles, okay? If you do not get enough protein, yeah, and you're working out, doing sports or whatever, you're not gonna see the progress that you wanna see. Why? Because you're working hard, you are causing damage to your muscles, okay, by doing a lot of work, and then you're not getting the protein, the enough amounts of protein to repair all the damage that you've done. So instead of you growing stronger, your body just kind of repairs the muscles, but back to the same point that they were. You're not going to get any stronger if you do not get enough protein. Now, how much protein is enough, all that stuff, you can do your research, or I can go into it in a different episode. Okay? So, this is the basics, the fundamentals. We've discussed this now as well. Now we can start getting into actually how to start progressing. You want to get fitter, you want to get stronger. But I don't really want to go to the gym, all right? I'm not a fan of going to the gym. I need to say this now. Going to the gym for me is, one, boring. That's about it. It's just boring. Why would I go to the gym? Just to get stronger? I reckon I'm going to start going to the gym when I'm like really old. Really, really old. Like maybe 110 years old. Why would I ever go to the gym? Gym for me, personally, is too superficial. You're working out with the main focus on looking better. And this is the quickest way to looking better. Does it build confidence? Yeah. It's good for people that are like really bad. They have very low confidence. It's good for them. It's good to get them going. But going to the gym as an end in and of itself, I just find it pointless. Okay, so my whole thing is, and what I'm going to be talking about is you getting fitter and stronger through sports, not gym. Okay, sports. Why? My philosophy, just overall life philosophy in everything, is I do not want to do anything that I cannot keep up potentially forever. Does that make sense? Are there exceptions? Yes. Like, for example, I'm getting ready maybe for a fight. Am I going to train like a madman? Yes. Very intense for a certain period of time. Yeah, let's go. I do it, do the fight, go back to normal. That's good. That makes life interesting. Little spurts like that here and there. I'm starting a new business. Am I gonna work day and night? Yeah, of course. That sounds fun. Okay, but in general, it's like my day-to-day stuff. I do not want to add or remove anything from my day that I'm without me thinking, can I keep this up potentially forever? Is it gonna be forever? Probably not, but like potentially forever. If I want to change the way I eat, okay, I'm thinking, if from tomorrow, yeah, I start like having a salad every for dinner every night. Can I eat a salad every night? Can I keep it up? Because I need to go to the shop, buy all the ingredients, come back home, cut, fucking make it, all that stuff, wash the dishes. Some people, yeah, that's normal. For me, that's like too much time. I don't have that time. Okay. So me thinking this, I would just go do it for a week and then I'm gonna stop. Why? Well, because I need to go to the shop every 2 days. Too much. Like I need to wash the dishes every evening. Too much. Okay. Just for just as an example. That philosophy applies to everything I do in life. Same as fitness. Okay. Anything that you start doing, don't go, oh, from tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be on the ball from tomorrow. No days off, da da da. And you last a week and then you quit. Oh, it's too much. I have no energy. I'm very tired. Okay. This is not the way to go. The way to go is you're a complete beginner. Okay. We're starting from beginner level. Even I call this unfit category. What would you say, what would I classify as unfit? I would say unfit is, maybe there's like a widely accepted standard, but for me personally, unfit person is someone that cannot lift. You need to be able to lift in some way, shape, or form at least 50% of your body weight, I would say. That's, I don't know. I've been fit my whole life. I would say that's like a pretty low bar. You know, I'm setting the bar low. 50%, if you're 60 kilos, you need to be able to like squat 30 or lift from the ground 30. You need to be able to do that. Come on, whether you're a man or a woman, I think that's fair. And you need to be able, I would say, I'm talking about men here because I don't know about a woman. I would say if you cannot run 1K, so a kilometer, in under 6 minutes, you're unfit. You're very unfit. 1 kilometer in under 6. You're unfit if you cannot do it. For a woman, probably as well. 6 minutes is a lot. Come on. For a reference, the top marathon runners, they did 42 kilometers in 2 hours. Okay, so this is 21 kilometers an hour. This is less than 3 minutes per kilometer. Okay, so all I'm asking is, can you run 1K in under 6? Okay, yeah, it's not that hard. Okay, if you cannot do this, you're in a bad way. How would I approach things? If you don't like running, if you don't like lifting weights, that's fine. I don't really like just working out for the sake of working out. It's fun. It's still nice. There is a intrinsic like reward after you finish a workout. It's a great feeling. But if you're by yourself, it's a bit boring and you don't enjoy it. You're not gonna last. As I said, the philosophy is do things that you know are gonna last. So my whole point and what I'm gonna be pushing towards in this podcast is do a sport. Find a sport that you enjoy, regardless of what the sport is. Can you practice that sport by yourself? Or can you practice it with other people? Find a sport and find someone to do it with. Okay? Most people that watch my podcast, I'm assuming they like football. Okay? So you can always play football. All right? But for the beginners, find a sport that you like. And then through the sport, because you're enjoying, when it's a sport, when it's a game, it's more enjoyable. When it's more enjoyable, you're going to do it more. Okay? So essentially, you're going to be getting more working without really thinking about it too much, without going, oh man, I need to go and run today. Or if I give you a football and say, go play football, you're going to run, essentially. But you're running playing football, so. But you're still running, you're still doing the work, you're getting fitter. Okay? But this is just for the most unfit. Find a sport, start doing your sport. Okay? If it's once, just start the simplest thing once a week. Find a time in your week that you can do it. Once a week, yeah? Yeah, I'm doing it this evening, this time with this guy or that guy or whatever. Make sense? Just that very basic. Okay. From there, you want to stick to it. You want to stick to it and you want to start building up. Just enjoy it for now. Just enjoy it. Just play. Stick to it. That's the most important. That's what's going to get you to the next level. Which is okay. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing and playing and playing. Oh, I'm getting better. And I keep playing more and more. Maybe you add a second day, maybe not. But just adding one day, moving from 0 to 1 day a week. Think about in terms of percentage. How many percent more are you doing now? You used to do 0, now you're doing 1. Infinite. The benefits that you're going to get out of one time a week, complete, like life-changing. Moving from 0 to 1 is life-changing. I'm not joking. That's a fact. This is going to get you to like the amateur level. I've put the next level is like amateur. You're just kind of doing it like recreational, or but you're not experienced. You've been doing it for, let's say, like a week, not a week, sorry. Let's say a couple of months. You're amateur now. You kind of know what's going on. Okay. You're now looking to add another. You're looking to add a bit of extra work now. Challenge yourself. Hopefully, you want to get better. Can you add a second day in the week? Can you can you start making your session longer? Or maybe can you start adding something around your session? Okay? Still, focus on your sport. Why? The more you focus on the sport, the more skillful you get at a sport. That's going to increase your enjoyment, your enjoyment of it. When you're enjoying it more, what's going to happen? You're going to do it more or less when you're enjoying it more. You're going to do it more. So the better you get, the more you're going to enjoy it and the more you're going to do it because it's fun for you now. All right? So keep getting better and better. I'm watching the UFC, by the way. That's why I keep looking to the left. You're going to keep doing it more and more because it's fun for you. That's like for me, if someone tells me you have to play football every day, let's go. Yes, I'm happy, you know, because I enjoy it. Why do I enjoy it? Because I'm good. If I was shit at football, someone tells me you're going to play handball every day. Oh my God, I'm not going to be looking forward to it because I do not like handball. Handball, I don't know how you say it in English because it's a dumb sport for me. I just don't like it. Because I don't like it, I also don't like it, for one, because I just don't like it, and two, because I'm not really good at it. And I'm not going to get good at it because I don't like it. It's kind of it's a circle. So you have the freedom to pick. Just find something you enjoy. Start putting in the hours. So amateur, kind of know what's happening. Can you add a second day? All right. Again, think consistency. You want to be consistent. You want to be consistent and you want to enjoy it. Then when you add a second day, you start putting a bit extra work, maybe longer sessions, for example. I don't know what sport you're going to do. There's a million sports, right? You start moving on then to you're kind of skillful. like I'm putting semi-pro here. Like semi-pro is like you've been doing this for a while, for years. Let's say 4 or 5 years. Semi-pro is like you're good enough to go and compete, not professionally, but just like some sort of competition. Even if it's competition for beginners, it still is competitive. This is like semi-pro. You kind of competing now. That's just my personal view. You're ready to jump in and just feel the pressure and the stress of competition. You've reached that level. You can compete now. Nice. Okay. You're there. You've stuck to a routine. You've been doing this for years. People that play, let's say, 7-a-side football, 6-a-side football, I reckon this is like semi-pro. Whether you've played for 5 years or for 15, you're kind of there. You know, that's semi-pro for me. Semi-pro, can you put him on the, like, in terms of football context? Can you go? Can you play like a nice game, like a nice 6-a-side 1 hour game easily? Yeah. Okay. So you can kind of go through it. Can you play in a tournament or something like this or a league? Yeah. But if you put this guy on the 11-a-side pitch to play 90 minutes, he's gonna struggle. He's not there. Okay. So yeah, that's like you've been doing it for years. You're kind of like a semi-pro, I call this. It's still recreational. I'm just giving you like level of fitness. We're not talking about mastery of the sport. We're talking about fitness. Okay? At semi-pro, you're efficient at your sport. Being efficient at your sport, though, still makes you fit. Okay? Because you've been working, your body can move. If you play basketball, you can jump a bit. Yeah? If you've been playing basketball for years, you can jump much more than most people. If you've been playing football for years, this like semi-pro level, which is not actual semi-professional footballer, it's just semi-pro fitness we're talking. Just so we know what we're talking about, because it's gonna get a bit confusing maybe. I want to avoid that. Right. Yeah. You, if you're playing football, you're gonna be able to run. If you're doing something else, like let's say MMA, that's obvious. That's what I do in my spare time. You can spar, like you can do many rounds. You're not just one round and no. You can go, like you've got a couple of rounds in you, 5, 6 rounds. I don't know. Well, you've got like 10, 6, 8 minutes of sparring in you. You've got that. Okay, easy. So next, moving on from that, how are you gonna get to the next level? You're probably doing at least twice a week, maybe sometimes once or twice, but you've got now a lot of hours behind you. Now to get to the next level, which is pro, you have to start pushing the fitness here. On this level, you can stay on this level. Most people stay on this level forever. That's just like the recreational, that's everyone that plays like 6-a-side, 7-a-side football. All of these guys, they're like semi-pro fitness. Yeah, they can play football, they can play a good game, they're decent. If you want to get to the next level, your body is not gonna wanna go to the next level. You're good enough, you're fit enough to play your sport and enjoy it. You're not gonna move anymore. Okay, you're gonna be stuck here, which is okay for a lot of people, but depending on your ambition or whatever, do you want to move up? To move up from this, now you need to start putting extra work. You need to look at yourself and say, okay, is my stamina there? If the answer is no, you start working on your stamina. You think about your strength. Again, evaluate the sport first. If the sport is football, I would say, this is just my personal, from the top of my head, split. I would say football is 80% endurance and 20% explosiveness, or even 85% endurance, 15% power. Because there is sprinting, there is changing of direction. Sprint this way, hard stop, turn, go the other way. But endurance is like the foundation of the sport. If you don't have endurance, it doesn't matter how much power you've got, because you cannot run. You can't last. Okay? Endurance is the foundation there. If you have the endurance, then start building up your strength, because it's going to help you. Strength is going to help you. Your power, your explosiveness. You're going to start winning more balls. You're going to be more confident on the pitch. And you're moving into that next level. To move from semi-pro fitness to professional to pro fitness, you need to evaluate yourself now. Okay, you're enjoying the sport, you're building skill. You've been building skill for a while, but now you're like, okay, I want to get to the next level. Just being skillful is not going to get me there, okay? Because my body has reached this point. To push it to that higher level, I need to actually push it. So what are you doing now? You need to get used to, let's say you're playing 3 times a week. Can you add a session? Whether it's individual or whether you're running, or depending on your workload. Okay, we're progressing now. As soon as it's gonna get technical. Jesus, and I have the fight to watch. You need to start adding something. Whether it's you play 3 times a week and then you go to the gym once, lift some weights because you want to build some muscle, or play 3 times a week and then one like do plyometrics or whatever. You're adding something because you want to get to that next level. That's after you have evaluated what you need to work on. That's up to you. If anyone now has specific questions, you can ask. Okay, I'm happy to answer any question because I'm really just touching the basics on all that. If you have specific questions, the more specific the question, the more information I can give you. Ask, okay? You want to add something. Whether you're going to stay after your sessions and add, like, do a bit extra. You're going to go early before the session, do a bit extra. Add an extra session, you know? That's what you need to get to the next level, which is professional, I call this. Professional, I would put myself there. Let's just, I'm lucky I didn't bet on that fight. I was gonna lose. All right, so to get from semi-pro to professional fitness, I would say is you're there. You're like a month training camp just to brush up on some details and stuff. From actually having a fitness, of having the physical ability to be there professionally, like really compete with the professional athletes. Does that make sense? Kind of. You're not there, but you're 1 month away from this. Okay? Now that's tough now. Semi-pro, you're efficient, you've been playing the sport for a long time. Professional now, you've already put in the extra work. Okay? As I said, you've been training 3 times a week with everyone else, for example, but you've been adding something, okay, to get to that next level where you just fit. Like, people look at you, you're just fit. Someone tells you, hey, let's do this, you're like, yeah, let's go, no problem. Like, someone can ask me, do you want to run a marathon tomorrow? Like, yeah, and go and run a marathon tomorrow without training. The last one I went for was maybe 2 years ago. Okay, I can just go, yeah, let's go, and go tomorrow. This is that professional level that I'm talking about. I have to watch that fight. Okay. So this level, I got distracted from the fight. I need to watch that fight. One guy from London is fighting. Professional level, guys. You're there. As I said, I'm there. I'm 1 month away from like being a I need 1 month and I'll be able to run as much as a professional football player and with the same intensity. Okay? And be able to cover the same distance, turn, do this, do that. I just need a small adjustment. Okay? Oh, obviously, I'm 1 month away because I'm very good at football and I've been playing football for 20 years, so I'm efficient at the sport. Okay? Am I 1 month away from becoming a professional cyclist? No. I'm years away. Okay? I'm going to be fitter than 99.9% of people that have never done any cycling. Yeah. But compared to like professional cyclists, I'm way off. But as I said, we're building all this around a certain sport. Because at the end of the day, I said it's about longevity. It's about consistency. Whatever you pick, your fitness overall in the long term is going to depend on your consistency. Okay? Not on go to the gym for 20 years. How does that sound? For me, that sounds like, I don't know, sounds bad. But tell me, play football for 20 years. That sounds like fun. So if that sounds like fun to me, I'll be doing sports for 20 years. The guy that is supposed to go to the gym for 20 years is going to be on, off, very consistent, not very consistent. You can play football for 20 years non-stop every week easily. And a lot of people do. That's my point. That's what you need to focus on. Okay? And obviously you're going to get efficient at the sport. Efficiency means through playing, your body gets used to using the right muscles at the right time, staying relaxed when it's supposed to. I'm going to give you an example. When I started doing the combat sports thing, okay, I was still fit. I was probably, if you ask me to race myself in terms of just running, then and now, it's like 50-50. Probably I beat myself back. Nah, it's 50-50. It's the same. I haven't improved or gotten worse. But when they say sparring, I'll do around 2 minutes. Sounded like an eternity. Now ask me to spar, I can just, I can just go. I've got like a 10-minute non-stop round in me without even warming up. You know what I mean? It's just different. Why? Because I've already spent 2 years. I'm efficient. My movement is efficient. Before I was like, my body has never moved that way. My brain doesn't know how to tell my muscles, like my brain doesn't know how to use my muscles efficiently in these movement patterns. Does that make sense? This is what efficiency means in sport. I'm using much less. It's less effort when 8-0. This guy is young. My brain is using, like, it's much less effort for me to play football because I've done it for 20 years. I can play football, you can just, I'm asleep, yeah? You just, hey, get up and play football. 5 minutes later, I can be playing, no problem. It's like a second nature to me. I'm very efficient. In combat sports, like, if you tell me, hey, you have to spar like 3-minute rounds hard, I'm gonna like, I need to prepare for this, I'm not there. But if I was doing it for 20 minutes, I would have had it in me. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean. You're 1 month away from being there, from being like professionally fit. That's what I call pro fitness. You're 1 month away from having the fitness of pretty much a professional. Okay? Now, how do you get there? We said you need to add, when you're at that semi-pro level, you're doing it 3 times a week, but you start adding something because you're ambitious. You want to get to the next level. Okay? You're adding something. When you're at that pro level, this requires to maintain at least 3 times a week and something extra, a bit of fitness here and there. Like fitness, meaning you're doing your sport at least 3 times a week, good level, good work. It's not just 3 times a week, blah, 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 blah. No, no. Solid work 3 times a week, and you're adding something. Conditioning. You're doing sit ups, you're doing squats, whatever you're doing. If you're playing football 3 times a week, training, and then you're adding something. Okay? That's just to maintain. This is just to maintain. Now we're talking about really high level. 3 times a week is even, that's not enough. Four. You need 4 times a week, I would say, to stay here. I've been doing 4 times a week for the past year now. And now, the exact moment, my fight that I've bet on, don't bet by the way, I've bet on this fight and now the internet is gonna go, and it's gonna, perfect timing. So professional level, 4 times a week. Let's call it that, 4 times a week, that's easy. Come on, mate. 4 times a week to maintain, because this is very high level of physical fitness. Okay, whatever your sport requires, think about it. What you don't want to do is you're a pro level. Injuries come into play. Injuries are a real thing. You don't want to get injured. As soon as you get injured, your fitness is gonna plummet. Okay, come on, mate. Pop up. I really want to watch this. 4 times a week to maintain. Moving to the next level now. There is a next level, pro. This is pro. The next level is elite. To get to elite, at least 5 a week, and you're doing something extra. So I would say 6 times a week. You're working more and you're very specific about what am I doing. You need to calculate the workload that you're putting into your different body parts, okay? Different muscles. My little cousin plays football 3 times a week or 4 times a week, and then has got another training, and then he's telling me he wants to train his hamstrings. Because why would you train your hamstrings when the hamstring is one of the muscles that are worked the most when you play football? Because there is a massive disbalance between the hamstring and the muscle that is doing the opposite to the hamstring, which is your quad. Look at your quads, that's like one of the biggest muscles in the body. They're massive. And then look at your hamstring, the back of your quad, like the back of your thigh. It's much smaller. So it needs to work much more to balance, to obviously to produce the opposite equivalent of energy to your quad. That's why hamstring injuries are the most common injuries in football. So why would he try and work his hamstrings? It doesn't make sense. You're already putting so much stress on it, you're just going to get injured. So you want to be smart. What are you... You want to be smart. Think about the workload that you're putting on your body. I'm working this that much. If you're playing football, your legs are going to be cooked pretty much. So you want to think about your recovery. Am I stretching enough? You want to stretch because you want to be flexible. The more flexible you are, the less injuries are likely to happen. Why? Because when the muscle is flexible and it's nice and stretchy, can move, and it's not stiff, less likely for it to snap or to tear or whatever, because it's nice and loose. Lovely defense. Get off the cage. Get off the cage, mate. Come on. Who is bloodied? Is it my guy? Nice. It's a good reversal. Lovely, lovely trip. So, really think about what you're working on. Okay, what muscles are getting worked? You need to start thinking about your recovery, stretching. Your eating should be on point as well. Protein. Okay, what is left? Remember, because you have to, like, you're very high level now, and you, if you're ambitious, you want to get to even to the next level. That's a shitty cut, mate. One round down for my guy. All right, come on, bro. Shit. Let's go, man. Come on. All right. You're thinking about it. Your, what did I say last? Your protein should be on point. Your fitness should be on point. You're ambitious. You want to get to the next level. Think about the rest. Yeah, I remember what I was gonna say. Do not sacrifice skill in the sport for fitness. Okay. Remember, if you're gonna go and work out really hard in the gym, you're gonna be able to train properly tomorrow. Probably not. Okay, so this is why I say prioritize skill and add the fitness. Like, how much fitness can you add? Be smart. Don't overcook it. Consistency is gonna get you the furthest, not intensity and boom injured. Or intensity and I'm tired, I cannot train properly. And you're training at a high level. Okay? But then because you pushed so hard in the gym, today you're shit at training. You're shit at training, your coach thinks, oh, why would I play you? You haven't done well in training. The priority is your sport. Okay? Don't let fitness get in the way of your skill. Make sense? That's it. And the final level, because I have to watch that fight, that was lovely. Lovely sprawl as well. Let's go, man. The final level is elite. Elite is the top athletes. Okay? A lot of people are professional athletes, but the elite are few. Like physical specimen. Like people that are so fit. Your body fat is low. You're strong. You're a machine, essentially. Now, to get there, you need to have everything dialed. How you eat, okay? It's important. You need enough protein. That's the main thing. Supplements. You're taking supplements if you need them. Yeah, creatine. That's important. We get that hell away from there. Nice. Sleep. So make sure recovery. Stretch. That's part of recovery, I would say. Training. Smart. And putting in the extra work consistently for years to get there. Consistently for years. So you need to find your consistency, essentially. Okay? Consistency makes the difference. Consistency moves you from the bottom to the top. That's it. Yeah? We've just walked from the bottom to the top. Specifics, specific questions, specific details. If you have a question like, well, but what do I actually need to do if I want to improve this or that or the other? If you want to ask. That's no problem. I can answer this whenever. I just need the question. Way suplex. Oh, he's getting that around for now. Let's go. Come on, man. Yeah. But yeah, consistency. Find your consistency. Do not get injured. And remember, skill is king. Skill. Okay? Skill. I'm gonna say again, skill. When you have the skill, when you want to get to the highest level, start thinking, what is gonna have the biggest benefit for my progress. What is gonna have the biggest return on investment for me personally now? If I'm a good football player, but I'm built like a stick man, I might improve most by going to the gym and putting on some muscle instead of working on my technique, where technically I'm really good. Okay? Or if I'm strong and I keep going to the gym, I might just want to start working on my technique. If I have the stamina, I can run all day. I might want to start working on my power a bit. Okay? Power, let's be a bit more explosive. Come on, man. Yeah? Well, around that's a bloodbath. But yeah, that's essentially it. Any more specific questions, I'm happy to answer. Maybe we can go into talking about food as well. But this is essential. I've told you why. Fitness is the most important thing in life, to be honest. If you don't have fit, if you're not fit, you're missing so much that you don't even know. So yeah, do not underestimate it. That's it for me, because I need to watch that fight. I'll be back next week, and please, if anyone has any questions, just ask the questions and be specific, and I'll give you the answer. I've read too many books to tell. Okay, I've got so many things that I can not teach you, but tell you, and then you do whatever you want to do with the information. That just ask a specific question and I'll answer. That's it. Thanks for watching, listening, and anything else. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not saying this. So yeah, thanks, and I'll see you next week.